Welcome back everyone to another Coach Blaker's video. Today we're going to be learning how to play Udyr. Now I'm not going to teach you the builds because he's super flexible and they're pretty much the same. If you're a Tiger Udyr player, then you know what to build as Tiger. If you're a Phoenix Udyr player, you know what to build as Phoenix. If you do both, you know what to do. He's very flexible. You guys that know who I am, my name is Coach Blaker. I've been coaching professionally for going on 10 years, almost 10 years. I have well over like 3, 4, 5, 6,000 games. Been playing this guy for what, 12, 13 years, something like that. So this rework, I feel like, is something that I kind of had to do a guide for. If you guys are interested in coaching, coachblaker.com is where you want to go. I do have coaching there for duos, for solos, for teams, so whatever floats your boat. Also, if you guys are unsure about coaching, I highly recommend that you check out this free service that I have. All right, now that we got that out of the way, coachblaker.com. Let's go ahead and move on to just kind of, we're going to talk through his abilities. I'm going to show a couple clips and then we're going to be done. Really simple, quick video. So for those of you that don't know, Udyr used to have something called monkey agility. Basically what that means is it was an incentive for you to switch through your stances because you would be able to hold 3 stacks of it. That's no longer here anymore. Okay, so it's gone. There's no more monkey agility. Instead, we have a different passive. After using an ability, Udyr's next 2 basic attacks within 4 seconds gain 30% attack speed and refunds 5% awakening. So this is kind of like monkey agility, but you don't stack it. Okay, so remember, monkey agility is gone. It's gonna take a little bit for you guys that are Udyr players to get out of the habit of like constantly spamming to keep your agility up because it's gone. Okay. Instead, we have Awakening. What is Awakening? Well, it enhances each one of your abilities. All right, so just kind of like a brief description of each ability and their Awakening. So his Q does the same thing as Tiger did, just without the dot, okay? So you get bonus attack speed, and instead of a 3-hit system where he go 1, 2, 3 dot, or 1, 2, 3 heal, or 1, 2, 3 Phoenix burst, or, well, the bear didn't have anything. That's gone. And now it's basically a 2-hit system. So when you go use the ability, 1, 2, and then it's done. That's pretty much how it works. The Awakening version, as you see, enhances it. Now it chains lightning together. Okay, so now we have Boar. So Boar is basically the old turtle. It does pretty much the same thing. It gives you a shield, and your next 2 basic attacks, actually, you give lifesteal, and it restores 11 HP. Now, back in the day, he actually used to have lifesteal, believe it or not. But he didn't after they changed him, but now he has it again, which is hilarious. But it's only on his first 2 auto attacks with the stance. If you go into Awakened Boar mode, then it's a bigger shield and you restore 80 HP over 4 seconds. And on top of that, you still get the lifesteal and it's 30%. I think undoubtedly this is one of his most broken abilities at the moment. They're probably going to nerf the Awakened version, but then again, you don't use it all the time. It's very situational. And I think that's the cool part about Udyr is like all of his Awakening modes are situational. So it's not like you're supposed to just spam one. And I think that's a good idea. I think it's a cool way to give him the ability to outplay opponents while also being really simple. You know, they didn't take away what Udyr was, but they just added a little oomph for the players that actually know how to play him and understand him. And I really do like that and appreciate that from Riot itself. All right, so I wanted to show you guys why I thought Boar stance was like one of the most broken ones, Awakened mode. So this is Awakened Boar. All right, so I go in, I chase Misfortune, I have Ghost. I thought I could kill her because, you know, I'm not used to the damage that I don't have. Now I am fed. But, you know, that doesn't mean anything. I still know how to play Udyr. So right there is the Boar. If she can't kill me. If she was super close. Look at that. You get HP back. You get HP back. And then on top of that, you have a shield. Like, you are extremely tanky. Look at, like, that's ridiculous. Look at that. That's nasty. That's nasty. That's nasty. And remember, Awakening is a double, so like I got a 2 shield basically, a 2 shield there, right? Because Awakening you have to use the ability twice. So you use it once and use it again. So I turtled to then turtle again. Boar. God, that's, why do they do that? I'm gonna boar and then I board again, and that's why that shield was that big. But if you board, auto attack twice for the HP, you're gonna heal, and then you boar again. You get 2 shields plus 2 heals. I mean, it's actually a disgusting way to survive. Again, it's situational. So it's hard to say it's straight up broken because you wouldn't constantly just awaken Boar for no reason. but I think that if it's used properly, it's one of the strongest ones, without a doubt. You just have to use it properly. Let's talk about RAM now. So RAM is pretty much your standard bear. The difference is, instead of stunning for 1 second, I believe bear stance was 1 second. It's now 0.75 seconds, and I don't know why, but now it's 0.75 seconds, okay? Enhanced version makes you unstoppable and gives you a little bit more movement speed. Same stun though, all right? Here is an example of the unstoppable. So one thing I wanted to say about the unstoppable is that you're not technically unstoppable until, why do I say it like that? You're not unstoppable until you press the button. So if you are CC'd, as you'll see in this clip, I got Swain snared. I wasn't able to actually move until later. You see? So I got knocked out, I got snared. I have it up, but I couldn't use it until the CC was done. So again, you're not unstoppable until you actually do it. You're not Olaf. You don't just press R and your CC is cleansed and you can't CC. Like, that doesn't work. You do have to use it prematurely. And so I think that's another really good way of like just having a skillful Udyr, knowing how to use these awakenings, because the window is so small and there's a lot of room for error, is going to be one of the cool things that separates an okay Udyr from a really, really good Udyr. All right, and the last ability that we have is Phoenix. So Phoenix is kind of the exact same as it was before. The thing is, you never really were able to see the particle effects on Phoenix, but when you pressed R on Phoenix, you would actually have little AoE waves pulsating outside of you. It's kind of the same thing here, but instead of it pulsating, it's just sustained damage and it's circling around. So it's kind of the same. When you auto attack with your first base attacks, instead of a cone blast, it's another, again, AoE swirl around you. So I think it's a lot easier to manage the ability when you click it once, and when you hit people, you don't have to like position yourself in a way to hit the flame, and they also can't flash out of it, not that I'm aware of, because it's instantaneous. So before, if you guys didn't know, you technically could flash or dash out of the Phoenix fire if you were quick enough. It doesn't really happen anymore, I don't think. And the awakened version of this is going to be the infamous, it follows you around like Victor O. It goes based off what you hit, okay? So whatever you last hit until it dies, it will continue to chase. All right, so let's just say you got done with the red buff here, right? And you just use your Phoenix. If you use your Phoenix again while you're on your way, it actually moves to it, right? And so what does this do? It basically means that your awakening goes on cooldown a lot faster. Now again, this is an advanced trick and you really don't have to do it, but I thought it was something to kind of mention about the Phoenix, because the fact that it follows you means you could do a lot more. Even if you're like ganking a lane, before you hit, like actually connect with the target, you could pop it off. Again, it's very situational, but I definitely think it is something that if you're an Udyr one trick or an Udyr main, you definitely should have under your belt. Last but not least, and this is something that I think Riot implemented really, really well, is you don't need to stay in stance after you hit 2 times, okay? You can actually dance out. So I don't know if this is gonna make, what is it, Fimbulwinter? The thing that like goes off of the tier, or like Marimana, whatever. I don't know if it's gonna make those things viable on him. I don't really think it would, but hey, you never know. Maybe they'll change it in the future, or maybe something will happen with Udyr. But that means that it's actually encouraging you to stance a lot more. Before, what you would do is you would do 1, 2, 3, 4 with Phoenix, and then you would swap to Tiger, 1, 2, and then swap back to Phoenix, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that was kind of your cycle, but not anymore, because it doesn't happen. Once you hit twice, as you see, look, it's gone. It doesn't come back. Nothing happens. You have to cycle out of it to make use of your 2 hits. So you would do something like this: stance, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. And what that means is that it actually flows really, really nicely. Here's an example. If I do Phoenix and I hit twice, 1, 2, and I swap out, my Phoenix is still going. That's the key. And that's the same for your Awakened mode. So check it out. If I decide to do Tiger Awakening, watch. I can actually swap the Phoenix and I'll still get the Electrocute proc. Pretty nasty, pretty nasty. So when you do that Awakening thing that we just talked about, that's what you're playing off of. So if I go into Tiger or Bear, or that's gonna be hard to get used to. But as you see, if I Awaken right now, and I just go to Phoenix, it still has the passive, you see? So I think that's something huge to think about too. Same thing if you Awaken your Phoenix, same thing if you Awaken your Boar. you still have the active of the, well, I guess it's a passive, active, the active of the awakening. So I think that's a really, really huge thing to think about as well. Because there's no more monkey agility, you don't need to continue to spam the ability. It kind of just, like, you don't have to do this when you run around because it doesn't do anything. You're still slow. Okay. But I will say, if you do have awakening, but you don't want to use awakening and you want to continue to run across the map. So let me go ahead and just kind of max this out real quick. If you get to the awakening form like this, right, and you tap it, if you press it again, you will start actually like your awakening form. Let it run out. You see this little thing, it runs out. Let it run out. Another indication is this bar will turn orange or yellow, whatever color that is to you guys' eyes. That lets you know you can press it again. So I do have a couple clips for you. The first clip is going to be pretty much the tiger play. So this is going to be the bear stance now, but the tiger type of fighting. As I said, I feel like Udyr is the exact same, and the way that I play this fight, I feel like would be the same exact way I played it with the old tiger. So here's the little brief example. So I'm building the standard Triforce. I got Stair Axe, you know. Basically what I do is I bait her out of the tower by looking like she can kill me. I go back on her. And again, as Tiger, you can't play dumb. You do have to kind of run away and kite yourself out. You do gotta kind of find your opening. He's not as broken as he might look. You still have to find your opening because he's still that type of champion to get kited out and killed. Okay, so that was kind of the first clip that I wanted to show. The way that I fought that would be the exact same that I fought with the old Udyr. But this one is another Udyr tiger play here. Again, it's the same type of scenario. You are a champion that doesn't have a gap closer. You are a champion that is easily susceptible to kiting. You have to play it in a specific way to get the kill. As you see, the tiger damage is still pretty strong, right? It's not like he's weaker in tiger. It's actually a lot better because it's percent damage on awakening. So I do think tiger now is better than tiger than before. I will say that you do a lot more damage. The only issue is it is on a burst window type of mechanic. So pretty much that means that if you don't have awakening, you're probably not gonna do any damage. You gotta get that awakening before you commit to try to kill somebody. I know it's a weird way to play, but that's how it works. So pretty much what you want to do is you want to go into the fight with awakening, and then you want to continue to fight until awakening happens again. So you should be able to get like 2 procs of awakening. If not, you're gonna have to back yourself out of the fight and go back in. I think this Udyr requires a lot more game knowledge in sense of like you have to keep kiting yourself in and out. He still is the same kind of weak champ, unless he's snowball. I mean, Udyr was always broken when he snowballs, let's be real. But if he's not snowballing, and a lot of Udyr players, especially low elo ones, tend to not know how to put themselves in that position to snowball, you're gonna have a hard time. But if you are snowball, you probably just run over everybody. And I think his Phoenix does a lot more damage too because it's percent HP. So I do like the fact that both of those are percent HP. I love that. And then the final one here is just Phoenix. I wanted to show you guys pretty much just the exact type of Phoenix that you would have before. You do your damage, you chase him in, you wouldn't play this any different, you just sit on him, and you know, you go in for the kill. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. It's the exact same thing that you would do with the old Phoenix. The only difference is it slows and it chases them. But Phoenix has always been the easier version than Tiger, and that being said, it's because you're extremely tanky and you just do a lot of damage. Whereas Tiger, you're not as tanky and you have to find your windows of opportunity a little bit more. I don't really know what rune set would be the best for him right now, but I still think the traditional press the attack for Tiger or phase rush for Tiger, and the traditional what is that? Lethal tempo and phase rush for Phoenix. You can do other stuff too, don't get me wrong, but I would still stick to those right now because, like I said, he is still pretty much the same Udyr until someone else figures it out. Maybe I figure it out. I haven't played too many games, but I did play enough to kind of just sample. My kind of final thoughts on him: he's the same Udyr that he was before. I think Riot actually really hit the nail on the head with this one. There's nothing about him that I feel is any different from the old Udyr. Whether I'm playing Tiger or I'm playing Phoenix, it's the exact same Udyr. The way your thought process is the exact same. Obviously, tweak it a little bit for the awakening mode, but in terms terms of like running away, in terms of like breaking towers with Tiger, if you're going that route, in terms of team fighting with Phoenix. Like there's little nuances that the Awakening form does bring, but for the most part, your brain does not have to be rewired to learn how to play Udyr. He's pretty much the exact same, and that's what I think that they did a really good job on when they were making him, or when they redid this. So I'm actually really happy for him. So I hope this guide helped you guys. As I said, if you guys are already Udyr players, he's the exact same. If you guys never really wanted to try Udyr because he was old and you want to try him now, if you didn't like him before, you probably won't like him now. So once the hype dies down and you're able to play him, whether it's because he's banned out or picked all the time for random reasons, when you try him and you didn't like him before, I promise you're probably not gonna like him anymore now. So like I said, I hope this helped you guys. This is not to turn you away from Udyr. Please love the champion if you love the champion, but don't think that he is a lot more than what you think, because when you play him, you're gonna realize, oh God, what did I do? Because he's the same. They did a really good job making him with more bells and whistles. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. If you guys are interested in coaching, remember I said coachblicket.com is where you want to go. Also, if you are on the fence and you're not sure about coaching, but you do want to improve and you do want to get better, I want to give everybody a chance to experience what coaching is so they can make the decision for themselves. A lot of people might think that is silly to get coaching, but that's why I want you guys to experience it for yourselves, because the people that say it's silly are not the ones that actually have goals. Right? I promise you, everyone who's ever had goals, everyone who's ever wanted to climb higher, they reach out to other people because that's the best way to get better. That's the best way to climb. So whether it's your friends, your family, so whoever is higher than you, whatever, a streamer, the players that want to improve will reach out to them. And so that's why I want to give those type of players the chance to see what coaching is like, whether they want to get it from me or from someone else. They can get that experience and say, you know, hey, I did it. I actually like this experience, or hey, I did it and it wasn't for me. If you're a serious player and you really want to improve, but you don't really know which direction to go in, like I said, test it out. It's not gonna hurt you. It's free. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. Late. Have a good rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. Thank you for approaching this like a coach.